Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the Random Grid Replica Championship on Project Cars 2. This is race 1 of round 5 here at Imola. We are in the Clio Cup for the first 2 races, and then we're in the touring cars for the second 2. So this is the first race in the Clios. Got Spapper on pole from Blakeney as we get ready for a start to this race. As we go, lights out, away we go. Blakeney gets a good start, Spapper alongside. Everyone else side by side down towards the first corner. Quite an even start from everyone here as we all go side by side, more or less in grid formation down towards the first corner. It's Spapper from Blakeney from Spapper, then there's Callum, Andrea. Then we've got O'Keefe, hits Andrea, a bit sideways there from Keefe. He's losing time there, he's going backwards. There's a car off, Blakeney's off. I don't know whether that was contact or not, and there's a car off in the background as well. I think that's TY. As the car goes off in the background as we all go in towards the Villeneuve curve. And then we've got Spapper from Andrea, Callum, Keefe, Neil, Bidzster attacking Neil here in the orange and black Clio. Trying to go around the outside of Neil Farmack here. And up the hill. Everyone having to be really careful of the track limits here. As Andrea is in the lead from Spapper. Andrea in the lead from Spapper. Then it's Keefe from Bidzster, who's ahead of Neil now, and then we've got further back, we've got Stevie up the inside of Stacker. Growly Bear behind Stacker as well as we go down towards the Variante Udo, I think it's called. As we go up, Andrea locks up a bit, Keefe, Bidzster and Co very close as Callum goes wide and off the track. He'll definitely get a slow down penalty for that. As he goes down to the next corner, you can see him lifting off. Bidzster and Keefe should be ahead. Down to the next corner we go, onto the brakes, Andrea from Spapper. Bidzster in 4th place, attacking Keefe. Stevie up on the curbs behind. Neil Farmack a bit wide there in the background. There's Growly, he's behind Stacker still. TY's catching up now, he's behind Blakeney. As we go down to the last few corners, we'll get some replays in that first lap action soon. As we go down towards the last few corners, only 7 laps in this race. There's Keefe there under attack from Bidzster. Stevie attacking Callum, so Bidzster behind Keefe here, side by side down the straight. So we'll just get those first lap replays in now. Replay what happened to Blakeney on board with Spapper. So watch around this corner, he goes to the outside, goes on the grass, and then just the car just darts to the left and straight into the wall. And now let's have a look what happened to TY on the first lap as well. So going into the Tamburello, staying nice and cautious behind everyone. We go to the outside of Growly. And then we go onto the curb and we lose the back end of the car, just like what Blakeney did. And then off we go and rejoin the race. So as we come back from that then, Bidzster side by side with Keefe. Callum side by side with Stevie. This could go one of 2 ways. It's either going to go well or end badly. Meanwhile, Andrea still in the lead up front from Spapper. Keefe, 3rd for now, but Bidzster's up the inside. Bidzster's going to try and outbrake him into Tamburello chicane. And he gets through. Who gets through out of Stevie and Callum? Oh, there's a bit of contact, but we're all good. Stevie has to compromise his line on the way out. Neil Farmack closes up. Callum can't quite get alongside enough to get the move done. So it's Bidzster in 3rd, Keith 4th, Stevie 5th, Callum in 6th, Neil in 7th place. As we go down to Villeneuve chicane. Oh, Stevie very sideways there. That could be Callum's opportunity to close right back up. And Growly and Stacker having a good race in the background as well. As Callum defends from Neil now. So Callum defends from Neil. Then we've got Stacker and going a bit further backwards here. He just made a mistake. TY right behind him. TY right behind Stacker as we go up the hill here. TY rooting the Nick Hamilton colours from the Clio Cup a few years ago. As we look at Andrea then, coming down. So it's an Italian 1-2 and an Italian track. So that's a good so far. Bravo. As we go down to the next one, Bidzster sliding that car sideways, trying to catch Spapper. Sideways up the hill as well. And Keith falling a bit further back here into the hands of Stevie. Stevie really on the move here. Stevie with some good pace. As we look at Bidzster behind Spapper into the chicane. The Variante Alta. Around there. Nicely through there. Stevie right behind Keith now. So Keith under pressure from the blue Renault there of Stevie. These Clios really fun to drive. As we go down, watching Andrea in the lead. Then we've got Bidzster. Is he going to attack Spapper here? No, he's going to wait a little bit. Not quite yet. As he chucks the car into the apex. And Keith trying to defend from Stevie, but keeping him back so far. Doing very well. As Callum and Neil very close together as well. Growley still in front of TY, but Stacker's gone backwards. Stacker must have made an error somewhere. Stacker goes quite far back, and then Blayton is there in 10th place as well. So Spapper then under pressure from Bidzster. 1/10 of a second in it, literally nose to tail down this straight. Bidzster moves to the inside. Oh, just about catches the curb there on the inside of Spapper. Into Tamburello, side by side. Bidzster gets the place up on the curb. Very sideways, just about holds onto the car. Good car control there. There's Keith then behind Stevie, so Stevie's got past Keith, and Stevie is now going to try and reel in Spapper and co up front. As Spapper having another little go at Bidzster here, but Bidzster's still pulling ahead ever so slightly. Next target, Andrea, as he goes wide over the curb. Whoa, close stuff there. As we go up to the Tozer hairpin. And up the hill we go. Spapper runs a bit wide there, but gets away with it. There's Keith, 5th place. And then Callum with Neil Farmack still right behind him, further back as well. So some good battles here. We'll have a look at Neil Farmack and Callum here in 6th and 7th positions up to the top. Around the top corner. Then it descends, very easy to run wide there, especially in the touring cars, which we've got coming in from race 3 and 4. As Andrea goes very wide there. He's going to have to slow down for a penalty, I would imagine. Or maybe, I don't know, but goes very wide there, but luckily gets away with it actually, so very close there. As Stevie has got a pack behind him now. Stevie must have made a mistake somewhere. Keith's alongside, then everyone's closed up. So there must have been some kind of mistake there. We'll have a look in a little while at what happened, but there's Keith into the chicane, followed by Stevie, Callum and Neil. So we just get a replay of what happened to Stevie there. Replay what happened to Stevie on lap 3. So into the corner at the bottom. See the back end just gets away from the front and he can't do anything to hold it. Then just about recovers, but as he goes up the hill he's very, very slow, and that's how the pack closed up. So as you come back from that, Bidzster in 2nd place, still can't quite get rid of Spapper and can't quite catch up to Andrea properly yet. As he goes on 2 wheels, properly on 2 wheels into the gravel. Oh, Bidzster pushing too hard. As Keith and Stevie together. Keith rolls the car. Keith's on his roof somewhere. There he is, he's rejoined. Oh wow, TY up to 6th place. That all happened very quickly. Again, more replays on that. Well, let's look from the outside view. So we're going down here onto the braking. Stevie just brakes way too late and then comes across on Keith. Loses control of the car, and then Keith's upside down, bless him, and then boop, hits the reset button, and off he goes. Okay, here we are on board from the helmet cam with Keith then, so watching the mirror. Stevie comes alongside, and then if you go into the braking zone, bang, comes straight across onto us, and then we roll, end up on his roof, and then, we're back, we're facing the right way there, Stevie rejoining, and let's go. Now let's have a look from on board with Stevie, so watch as we go into here, let's look from slightly above, as we go into the corner, brakes, turns across to the right because the rear end's gone light, and then takes himself and Keith off. But that was a mistake on Stevie's part, but it was not really his fault as well. So the Clio's not failing to provide the drama, definitely providing drama here, as Andrea in the lead from Spapper now in 2nd place. Bidzster trying again behind him after running wide through the kitty litter. And then into Tamburello we go. Spapper gets the inside. Bidzster's might go for the cutback here, but can't quite get alongside. As Callum then with Neil behind him in 4th and 5th places now. They've been promoted from the Keith-Neil incident. As Bidzster behind Spapper still can't find a way through as we go down to the Villeneuve chicane. Then over the curb. Spapper makes a mistake this time. Can Bidzster capitalise? Bidzster goes to the outside. Spapper defends the inside line, as he should do. Defends the inside and then up the hill. Bidzster goes for the cutback, but I can't quite get alongside as Neil and TY into the Tozer hairpin. Neil defends the inside from TY, but again TY will try and go for a cutback here as Bidzster still can't get through past Spapper. Good scrap here between these two. Up to the top, Andrea runs a bit wide but gets away with it. Spapper and Bidzster fighting fair as TY still can't get past Neil here as we go down to the next corner, down to the bottom of the hill. And Bidzster sliding that car up the hill, really pushing hard here. Let's have a look at Neil and TY through here, up to the top. TY with a bit of an aero change to the front of that car as we go up the hill. Neil might get a penalty for that because he went over the white line, but we'll have to see. But no way through. There's Keith back in 7th place and off again. Keith off again. Spun the car around by himself that time. There's Stevie in 9th. And sliding that car around. There's Blakeney in. Blakeney's gone round as well, so Blakeney's lost control of the car. So not many people enjoying these Clios by the look of it. And there's Stacker at the back. There's Andrea from Spapper, Bidzster still. No change there as TY and Neil still scrapping out down to the bottom of the hill. Neil still ahead of TY. Imola, a classic track. What a track it is. I do wish it had been more racing as we go. Oh, Neil goes up over the curb very wide there. It might lose him time. TY pulls out. Meanwhile, Bidzster and Spapper still going at it, hammer and tongs. Over the line towards Tamburello, drafting each other. Bidzster can't quite get close enough. He's having a little peek, but can't quite get through. Just trying to make himself big in Spapper's mirrors to make a mistake. There's TY and Neil side by side now towards Tamburello. Up the inside into the Tamburello chicane goes TY. Well done to TY, gets that place. Neil down to 5th. Callum hot on his heels in 6th. Growley 7th. Stevie in 8th. There he is, Stevie in the blue car. Keith in 9th, having a horrible few mid-section of this race. There's Blakeney and there's Stacker, so they're still quite close back there as well. There's Bidzster again, gets a good run on Spapper, but can't do anything with it. Andrea up front, still ahead, but he's been caught by these two, so he's going to have to get some kind of move on here. So on lap 5 out of 7, still a bit of a way to go in this race as Bidzster gets a good line through there. Spapper down the hill. Can Spapper hold on? Down to the bottom of the hill. Through this little kink on a brake and turn at the same time. Very hard to do in these cars. Spapper defends. That's going to compromise his run up the hill. But I don't think he's going to get it. As we go down here, Andrea still in the lead of the race. It's best battle on track at the minute, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll stick with this as we go into the chicane. Spapper goes over the curbs and Bidzster follows him. So close there is Neil Farmack and Callum. Callum's close up to the back of Neil Farmack here. So TY goes through the chicane. Neil Farmack over the curbs. Callum, a lot of curb there from Callum as he goes on 2 wheels, slides the car out. And that's what happens when you hit the curbs hard in the Clio. It kills you. As Spapper goes around the bottom of the corner with Bidzster behind him. Again, Spapper with some good pace here, and Bidzster really trying hard to catch him up. But Andrea doing a good job in front still. 2 laps to go in this race, wants to cross the line this time. Neil Farmack 5th, Callum 6th. And then further back we've got Blakeney versus Stacker. As Blakeney's gone off, Stacker takes the position. Blakeney's gone off, I don't think that was contact, that was just Blakeney making a mistake. And Stacker is ahead in 10th position. Meanwhile, Growley is being caught by Stevie, so Growley and Stevie catching each other up here. Remember, these two are teammates, so never know, Growley might let him through if he thinks he's faster, and I think he is doing. There he goes. Stevie goes through. Growley lets him go through very, very generously. She's lost a lot of time there doing that. Meanwhile, further up front, we've got Bidzster still trying to attack past Spapper, still can't quite do it. As we go down to the next corner, down to Toza hairpin, and then the climb up the hill. Spapper goes very wide there. That could be a penalty for running wide, but it's going to be, we don't know, because the track limit penalty is on the game now. So we'll see what happens there as Neil Farmack still with a decent lead over Callum, losing TY though. Losing the gap to TY as Callum goes out that last corner. Stacker and Blakeney having a good battle back here as well. There they go into Tamburello. Blakeney's going to go for the inside here. Inside line for Blake. Stacker, oh, Stacker chops across in front, says, no you don't, sunshine. You've got to try harder than that to get past me. Meanwhile, Bidzster's alongside Spapper. I think he's got him. Spapper must have made a mistake into the corner, but the side by side down into the next one. Onto the brakes, Spapper up the inside of Bidzster. Bidzster has to turn in somewhere, and he does. Oh, massive 2 wheels though from Bidzster. Still keeps the position, but he's going to lose speed down the hill doing that. He's going to defend the inside. Spapper's got to go around the long way, not letting him round easy as Callum and Neil approach the chicane. Still the same. Meanwhile, Bidzster and Spapper side by side down to the last corner. Spapper very, very late on the brakes, turns in on Bidzster. Bidzster can't go anywhere. There's contact, and Spapper's gone round. Bidzster couldn't do anything about that, and Spapper just closed the door on him, and you can't close the door when there's a car there, so Spapper goes down to 3rd position there, and Bidzster takes 2nd, and I think it's going to be a bit late for him to catch Andrea, because he's 3.5 seconds behind as Andrea goes across the line there, and there's Bidzster, 3.5 seconds behind, and Spapper after that incident further back. There's TY 4th, Callum 5th, Neil 6th, Growley and Stevie still very close together, so Growley's got back ahead of Stevie, so Stevie must have made a mistake somewhere. So Growley ahead of Stevie again. Will he be generous, or will he keep it this time? As Blakeney and Stacker having a good little run to the line as well. So there we go across the line with Growley Bear and Stevie. Down to the Stevie flashed his lights, saying I'm faster, I'm faster, I'm faster, let me go. Because I'm battling for the lead of this championship, you're not. But we'll see what's going to happen here as we go into Tamburello. No change yet. Still keeping the same position so far as Stevie closes up behind Growley. So I wonder if Stevie's going to try and get his teammate out of the way here. But, you know, if I was Growley, I'd race him to the line, because it's, you know, it is racing, you've got to earn it. And I know, but then again, it is later on in the season. Do you play the team orders game to try and get a championship as Growley makes a mistake? And I think that's the team orders done, because Stevie goes around the outside. It might get a good run around the outside, we'll have to see. But Growley defends, so Growley's racing for this. Growley is racing for this. Good to see him racing for it. As Andrea comes up towards the chicane, 2.3 to Bidzster now, so Bidzster's closed him in by a full second. But I don't think Bidzster's going to have enough laps left unless Andrea throws this away. But he's not throwing it away there. He's been very careful through that chicane. Bidzster still pushing. Spapper into the chicane then in third place. TY only 2.5 seconds behind now. There he is in the Monster Energy Hamilton car, the Nick Hamilton car, but not able to do much about this. Obviously, he had a horrible start and he's come back well in this race. Meanwhile, Callum and Neil quite close together. As Callum makes a mistake out of this chicane, that might mean he has to lift off for a penalty. We'll have to see. But first, Andrea comes to the line to take victory in the first Clio race of the day. Well done to Andrea. He wins round 5, race 1. The line's just up here. There it is. Crosses the line. Well done to Andrea. Bidzster a good second there. Spapper in third. So it's a 1-3 for the Italians on the home turf. Then TY gets a well-deserved 4th after a good comeback there. Callum's going to hold on to 5th in front of Neil. Flashed his lights, but you're not at the line yet, Callum. As we get towards the line, it's going to be a definite 5th place for Callum. Well done, Callum. Flashed his lights. He's happy with that. Neil gets 6th. Stevie and Growley. Stevie's in front of Growley then on the last lap. Stevie's in front of Growley. He's going to take the 7th spot. I wonder if Growley let him through. We'll get a replay on that pass quickly. Okay, here's what happened with Growley and Stevie on the last lap then for how they swapped. So Growley into the chicane. Whoa, front 2 wheels slide sideways. Bang, contact with Stevie. The 2 rubbing door handles. And then down to the next corner. Growley's not giving up here as we go down to the last few corners. Side by side the 2 teammates. No one giving a quarter. Growley Bear goes behind and then tries to outbrake him into the corner, but he knows now it's not going to happen unless Stevie really throws it away on this last corner. And then that's how Stevie got ahead. What a battle. So Stevie 7th, Growley 8th as we come back from that. Keith, a very unlucky 9th after a horrible midsection in that race. Unlucky for him. Meanwhile, Stacker and Blakeney are still not done yet as we go down to the last few corners. Stacker in front of Blakeney here as we go on to the last corner. Blakeney gets a good run out the corner. It's going to be a very tight finish here as Blakeney goes to the outside. He's got a run, but is it going to be enough? Flat on the throttle. Side by side over the line. It's going to be very close. I think Blakeney's just in front. Blakeney's just in front. Blakeney's just going to get it. And yes, he does. Blakeney gets it from Stacker. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that then. So Andrea wins that one. Well done to Andrea. He wins on his home turf. Well done to Andrea. Second to Bidzster. Well done to him. Third is Spapper at his home race as well. TY in 4th as we go over the page. Callum finishes in 5th. Neil comes home in 6th. Growley Bear gets a solid 7th. Stevie all the way down in 8th place and a 1-second track limit penalty as well. Keith in 9th. Then it's Blakeney who finishes in 10th and Stacker rounds off the 11. So as we come back from that then, there's your winner, Andrea. Well done to Andrea. He wins that race, and we'll see you guys for race 2. Take care, guys.